In this lecture, we are going to work on the category template. On our sidebar, we have a list of categories. If we click on a category, WordPress will modify the query to present a list of posts for that category. By default, WordPress will load the index template for displaying this page. It's optional to create a template dedicated to categories. For our theme, we're going to create a template for categories. In another tab, I have the static design of the category template. As you can see, the template is very similar to the index template. The big difference between both templates is that the category template has a large gray bar at the top of the page. Inside this bar, we're displaying the name of the category. This section will help visitors distinguish between the home page and category page. Let's view the template hierarchy documentation for the category template. According to the documentation, WordPress will check our theme for 5 templates. Starting from the top, a template file called category slug will be loaded. The file name may look strange. There are curly brackets surrounding the word slug. Curly brackets indicate a placeholder. Typically, WordPress will provide more information on what the placeholder is for. In this example, the placeholder is for the slug of the category. A slug is a keyword that gets attached to the URL. For example, if we were to go back to our site, the URL structure would be the same for all categories. It's the word category, followed by the slug for identifying the category. Back in the documentation, we can create a template for a specific category by using its slug. This can be helpful if you would like to load a unique design for a specific category. Let's keep going through the list. The next template is called Category ID. Categories are stored in a database. Most entries in a database are assigned an ID. Slugs are useful, but they're not reliable. Administrators have the power to modify a slug. If you would like to create a special template for a category without a slug, you can use its ID. IDs can never be changed. Next, we have a template called Category. This template will be used for all categories. Afterward, there's a template called Archive. Archives are generic templates for various pages that aren't the home page. Lastly, the index template will be loaded if the other templates aren't available. We have various options at our disposal. WordPress provides theme developers a lot of flexibility with their templates. For our case, we're trying to create a generic template for all categories. Therefore, I think the category template is perfect for our theme. Head back to the code editor. In the templates folder, create a file called category.html. As I stated before, the category template will be very similar to the index template. Since that's the case, we can copy the template from the index file to the category file. Let's give that a try. Next, we can start adding the header at the top of the file. In the assets directory, there will be a template called category. Open it. Inside this file, search for an HTML comment that says page header. The markup for this section is very simple. We have classes for changing the color, position, and size of the header. Most of this can be recreated with blocks. There's just one problem. WordPress does not have a block for displaying the name of a category for the page. Without this information, our block will output the same text. The page header should display the current category. For this reason, we are going to create a custom block to address this section of the page. A temporary solution will be the HTML block. Let's copy the HTML for the page header. Next, open the full site editor in your browser. You may need to refresh the page for the template to appear. WordPress does not check for newly created files. We are going to select the category template from the list. The template should look identical to the index template. After the template has been loaded, insert an HTML block after the header template part. Next, paste the HTML into the block. Afterward, copy the block to your clipboard. Lastly, let's update the category template file. Back in the code editor, we are going to paste the block below the WP template part comment. Let's refresh the category page on the front end. Perfect! The template has been successfully saved. We have a template dedicated to categories. The header will always display the same category. In a future section, we are going to create a custom block for rendering the correct category. For now, let's move on to the next template.